Alright, guys. So, this is going to be another comic review from a book from my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you once again for this comic. And that is Green Lantern Far Sector, or just Far Sector. This is from the DC Young Animal line, which, honestly, are they still doing Young Animal? Is DC doing, like, the Young Animal title? Because I feel like, and Comic Pop said this best, is where especially Marvel and DC will do this, where they'll put out, like, a new line and then just immediately abandon it. DC releases, new kids line. Oh, it's not kids line anymore. It's now we're doing young adult and like a black label called DC Young Animal. Oh, it's not DC Young Animal anymore. It's Flabbity Flu, and Flabbity Flu will become something else in due time. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know, that DC Young Animal had like Doom Patrol and a few other titles. It was I guess, I don't know if it's still around, because I guess like this is just basically Black Label. This was meant to be like the like DC's like this is where we go for like high-end talent comics that are fun, that are good. And yeah, so Far Sector, or Green Lantern Far, I'll just call it Far Sector. So Far Sector is a 12-issue miniseries featuring around a Green Lantern named Joel Mullen. Her full name is Sojourn, but they just call her Jo for short. And she's been put into a group called Far Sector. Basically, what has happened is that Jo has been tasked with going to a sector that is so far out, it's a far sector. See what I did there? I'm not proud of myself either. So she goes to a planet called it's a planet that hasn't had a murder in over 500 years. The city is called the City Enduring. The planet's called City Enduring. It's a race made of 3 races that killed each other eons ago, and have now, like, since shut off emotions and are trying to live a world of peace. So there hasn't been a murder in 500 years. The first murder occurs, and now Jo is kind of thrown into this world of, like, intrigue and mystery and whatnot. And it's really, like, it's a really cool take. It's a really nice take, and it's like something you don't see in Green Lantern comics these days. Because yeah, Green Lanterns are cops. Like, that's what they are, is space cops. And this definitely has a lot of like cop drama to it. This definitely has a lot of cop drama and cop procedural and detective stories on a whole. Jo herself is a really fun and interesting character. I really dig that she's just kind of like she herself is like, why the hell did I get to be a Green? Why the hell did they pick me to be a Green Lantern? Especially when you find out her backstory. It's a pretty interesting backstory of why she got the ring, and she's still even now learning how to use the ring. She's fierce. She also has she's pretty intelligent, and yeah, this has a lot of shades of like cyberpunk. Of that cyberpunk kind of styling. Like, there's a lot of Blade Runner in here. Like, I can definitely see a lot of Blade Runner to this comic. Also, all the names the aliens have like very story kind of story names. Like, she doesn't go by their full names at all. Like, I gotta read these out because it's not something you can just remember off the top of your fucking head. Yeah, so there's Sins of the Cliff by the Streaking Ice. That's her full name right there. That is all. And then some of the races, like there's one called the Ats, like the At symbol Ats, and their leader's called At Blazing Glory. You can kind of guess what that race is all about. The comic is, like I said, a detective story. It's beautiful artwork by Jamal Campbell. Like, just some stunning work from Jamal Campbell. Let me see if I can give you like a good example. Jamal Campbell also did the Naomi Season 1 comic as well. So, yeah, I was amazed then, and I was very amazed now, because, yeah, there's some beautiful uses of color in here throughout this comic. Like, yeah, just some all-around stunning artwork from this comic. What does kind of set it back for me just a wee bit... I do like this book, don't get me wrong, and I do recommend this comic. But what kind of sets it back for me is that it's kind of predictable. Like, you kind of figure out who the bad guy is real fast. You figure out who the villain is and what the mystery is on a whole, and yeah, that does kind of hurt it, because this is 12 issues long, and you're just kind of like, I already know the motivation, I already know the villain, can we get to it, please? Thankfully, though, the journey's not agonizing, but you are like, kind of like, wrap it up, we kind of figured it out. There's some great action, some great storytelling. This is not for kids, by the way. I'm just gonna, I should remind everyone, this is the DC Young Animal line was not for children. But yeah, all in all, if you want to read I know Green Lantern comics have kind of fallen off since Jeff Johns' run ended. But if you want to read like a really good Green Lantern story that doesn't really have, and this is very like self-contained. It's a very self-contained comic. I really enjoy it. It's a very well put together story. It's got some great heart to it. It has some great dialogue. I recommend this. Like I said, if you want to have another Green Lantern book in here, if you've dropped off of Green Lantern titles, this is pretty easy to get into. No stuff you need to previously read about Green Lantern. Nothing of all that. It just follows this character, and that's it. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Once again, I'd like to thank Chris for sending me this comic. And yeah, you guys let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Far Sector? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.